Hello, I'm Blade Boquest, and this is The Blade Edge, Episode 7. It's part 4 of 5, you guys. We're actually almost done with the entire series. And if you've been trying to follow along with how many students we had, there were 3 students last year. Each student had between 2 and 3 sessions. There's 7 episodes. We broke the last 2 episodes up into 7 parts and then 5 parts. Probably quite confusing. That's why I've tried to have this daily upload so you guys can get exactly what you need in bite-sized increments. We also have a playlist where all of that's right there. But in the last video, we broke down Serendia Special. How do you know how much profit you're going to be getting if you're buying every bit of the ingredients? Should you be making some ingredients, or are some of the subcomponents for Serendia Special the absolute last thing you want to make, because you could be using those same ingredients that go into that for a totally different recipe? Are you counting the opportunity cost? See, the last video goes into that in detail, and you'll exactly know how to do that. So make sure you watch that, because here we're going to multiply that effect, moving it into Cron Meals, talking about our Oohazas and Serendias and Camisole meals that go into the Exquisite Cron meal. So this goes over the valuation, right? Can we equate a correct value to something that has this price? How do we know if we should be making that? What's the real value if we're trying to offload our other Serendia specials? This goes into great detail on this. So I hope this helps you out a lot, you guys. And if you want to ask me any questions, you can come over to twitch.tv/BladeBoquest and ask me live, or just join our Discord community. Both of those are right below this video. Discord is discord.gg/BladeBoquest. All right, I welcome your questions, but I hope this answers all of them. All right, guys, get that profit.
So let's go up a level. Alright, so let's find out where those Serendias go into. So that would be Exquisite Cron Meals. So Serendia, Oohaza, and Camisole. So all of these are really good. Do you want a refresher on the Oohaza meals? I know we did it last time, but we can do it again.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, cool. So we'll do the breakdown there we'll do that as well, but first thing I want to show you is just the simple combined cron meal value. So we're at 282k. This we would be selling right on the market, so we take our tax right there. We still have the screen share going, right? You can easily see all this stuff.
Yeah, I do.
Perfect. So we have 3 Serendia meals that we need to, we'll just say we're buying them off the market. So okay, we're at 28,000 times 3. So I'll have to remember 84. We'll do the math on the Exquisite Cron again. So 282 times 0.845, and then that was I already forget, what was it? 84, 82, something like that.
Yeah.
All right, 84, right? So that leaves us with 154,000 profit. Now there is a Cron Spice that's 50k. We'll have to deduct that. And then basically what this means is, so this 100k has to be consumed by 3 Camisole meals and 1 Oohaza meal. Essentially, that's what we have left to deduct. So let's do Cama first. So Cama, this is a weird kind of a meal. Oh wow, the specials went up a lot. Okay. So Cama meal is actually one of the only specials I've never made myself, because it requires going out and like getting all these rainbow mushrooms and things. You have to gather by hand the polyforest. So I almost always, if I'm making these crons, I'll make the other components. Like I'll make my own Serendia specials, I'll make my own Oohaza, and then I'll just straight up buy these Camisoles, and that generally works pretty well. So 24k. It doesn't look like this cron meal is gonna have profit in it right now. So 24k, and we need, I think it said 3 of them. So 24 times 3 would be 72. Yeah, 72. So what this means is, for every Oohaza special we make, and we put through this system of buying Camisole and making our own Serendia specials, or even actually buying Serendia specials is the way this works, that would value Oohaza at 32,000 each. So the reason that's important is we go to the Oohaza and we look at them and we say, okay, we can buy these at 19,000 each. So if we can straight up buy them at 19,000, each one is valued at 32,000. Obviously, you have an initial built-in profit, but the way to kind of look at this at a larger scale, what makes this so nice, is by taking a larger recipe and saying, okay, I just don't want to make this one kind of thing because it's too tedious, like the Camisole meal. We'll just factor in the buy price of 24,000 a piece, and then we already know that it's super profitable to sell the Serendia specials, and we make 66. Yeah, we're making 66 million an hour with the Serendia specials. Well, if you made them and put them into this Cron Meal system, that's an extra, I mean, you're getting back the 15% you would have lost in taxes. So making your own Serendia, buying your Camisole, and then that would leave 32,000 valuation of every Oohaza special. So let's see here. So there's a couple different ways we could go, and hopefully, I know I'm saying this a couple different ways, but this isn't confusing, right? Hopefully.
Oh, it's making sense.
Okay, good. So one of the ways you could go is literally just use this to get your Serendia specials to sell. Instead of waiting a week and a half, you could buy the Oohaza, you could buy the Camisole, and then you could just overnight them, and then you'd be able to push out those Serendia, so that wouldn't be a problem. But Oohaza actually has a pretty solid profit margin. So let me pull this up here. One of the things with Oohaza though is you don't have a special proc, so it's like Knight's Combat Rations. It's a little weird. So we get a standard. If we were to just sell them, we could assume we could get about 20,000. So this is if we're just the profit of making them ourselves and selling them on the market. So we got 20,000 times 2.5, so we're gonna get 50k net worth every time we create one of these guys. Oops, what am I doing there? So times 0.845%. And then we're going to get back 42,000. So the recipe for this is kind of odd. It has to deal with a lot of coconuts, which interestingly enough, I think I'm actually still selling a handful of these coconut things, and they're just sitting on the market, so you know, it's available. All right, so coconut cocktail would be the first one to look up. Okay, so there's 126,000 on the market. Looks like you could probably do this indefinitely. The blue one is more expensive, but it's gone, so you don't have to worry about that. I think that's for the fishing buff or something. Yeah, auto fishing time. So nice and easy. We can deduct 3,000 for this right here. Where's my little? There we go. So we need 2 of them. We're going to take this down by 3k. Nice and simple. Next part would be coconut pasta. Oh, and that's already right here. So this is a little bit more expensive, so we don't want the blue one. I think we only need 1 for this. Yeah, so we only need 1, which would be the nice green one, and there's 4k in the market. Let's see what goes into this in case we run out of those guys. So it would require 2 coconuts. It would require dough, garlic, onions, and white sauce. All of this is pretty readily available on the market. Onions, I know, sit there. I imagine garlic does. I know dough does. I know coconuts do. And white sauce, you probably couldn't buy it easily, but milk you could. But either way, they are on the market and at pretty high quantity. We're still looking at 4,000. So at this point, you'd have to pay 10k in order to buy one of those. So we're at 29,000 silver left. And then what else we got? Coconut fried fish, meat stew, and steak. It's looking a little rough on the profit margins here. All right, let's see what we got. Coconut. Wait, I already searched for coconut. So fried fish would be the next one. And we got to deduct 1 of them. 5,000. So there's plenty of them available. It's easy to buy, and that's a cost of a little over 3k. So we're going to subtract that by 3.1 thousand. All right, so this is our remaining profit to work with, and we still have a handful of expensive things to deal with. We have meat stew and we have steak. So steak, if you notice, takes 8 red meat. That's pretty freaking expensive. Takes red sauce as well, which also has to use red meat. So steak would be the kind of thing that you'd want to buy and not make yourself. So I imagine they're probably sold out. Let's see what we got. Hey, look, there's some steak here. What the heck? So that's perfect. So there's no way that you're going to be able to produce this at a lower cost than you could buy them. So when you're looking through the cooking market, you would look for a recipe like this that's too expensive to make, but if they're sitting on the market, that's your chance to buy these things and make profit. So we're looking at 18,000 for a cost of juicy steak. And that leaves us with an 8,000 profit margin. So it's getting pretty dang thin. And that the meat stew would be the last one. So meat stew is another imperial. So basically people are going to be making meat stew to turn in for the basic imperials, and they can't turn in the blue, so blue sit on the market. So we're looking at an under 3,000 price for the meat stew here. Alrighty. So we'll deduct that by 2.8 thousand. So what do you think about this Oohaza math so far?
So would that 5,000 not be in addition to, so if we're actually making those into the Exquisite Crons, rather than just buying them, that would be an additional 5K profit per?
Good thinking, right? If you were making them into the Crons, then you can tack on the real valuation of our Oohaza special, which was 32,000 a piece. Really good thinking. So we were using the valuation of if we just sold them on the market for 20K a piece. So if we're turning them into Crons and we're making our own Serendia and we're buying our Camisole, then the real value of our Oohaza specials in our equation there would be 32,000. So we can tack on an extra 12,000 profit, and that's really what we're going to be getting per combine. And that's again if we buy everything straight off of the marketplace. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, good. So we'll do a standard 2,500 combines per hour, and that means that our Oohaza, if you just bought all the ingredients and you cooked AFK, is a good 43,000 right there, ready to go. Now the thing with Serendia specials, I don't know if I can. This math won't be exact because I know this isn't the right way to do the equation, but the 66 million per hour we made earlier was basically already deducting 15%. So this won't exactly be exact, but if we just add on, we'll say like, I don't know, like 12%, we'll just kind of cut our losses there. What that shows is if you're selling the Serendia special, you'd be making the 66 million per hour. If you're using the Serendia special into the Exquisite Cron meal and selling them, you're probably making about 80 million per hour. So pretty freaking good there. What other options or what other good ways are there to look at all this? So our Oohaza, how many were on the market? So there's 4,000 on the market. So if you wanted to make the most amount of profit the fastest, you would do something like buy all the components to make a Serendia special, and then you would just straight up only cook the Serendia special since it has the highest value per hour. It'd be around 80 million if you're taking it through the Crons. And then you would just buy the Oohazas and you would just buy the Camisoles. And then whenever you got to the point where you could no longer buy Oohazas, then you would start having to produce your own. But as you saw earlier, you're still looking at over 40 million an hour for any hour you have to spend making the Oohazas. It wouldn't be your first choice. It would be, first choice would just be buy those and then make the Serendias. But if they ran out, because there's only 5K, and if you want to do this on a large scale, they will run out. That's how you'd look at it.
Makes sense.